Hello guys from beautiful Italy. You can see the beautiful mountains behind me and this black sand is so amazing. I really wanted to do this Gemini yoga flow from here, and yeah, we're officially in Gemini season after sensual, slow, grounded Taurus season. We are now in the quick thinker, the communicator, the fast-moving, fun, spontaneous, curious Gemini energy. Yeah, Gemini, the twins, you probably know them. They are linked to Mercury, the planet of communication and thinking. Yeah, they are often very mentally busy. Gemini. Yeah, they have lots of ideas. They love to perceive the world. They love information. Yeah, they love to gather all the information, and they would like to live 3 or 4 lives in one life. And yeah, they're just super fun, always open to new ideas, and they like to think outside the box, yeah, and always open up, always get you out of your comfort zone, like shuffle things around, like what if we do it this way, or what if we do this, that, or instead. So they're just always open. So because they're very mentally busy, we want to get into the body with this flow. Yeah, create a bit of calmness in the body, which leads to calmness in the mind. And for that, we will focus on the shoulders, arms today, and a few inversion. Yeah, turning the head towards the earth is always very calming if the mind is overstimulated. Okay, so when you're ready, let's start in a Childspose, yeah, turning the head towards the earth. For that, your knees are met width apart, big toes are touching. Maybe you put a blanket or a cushion in between the heels and the sit bones, and then you walk your hands forwards towards the earth, maybe grounding the head, and then letting the chest pull you towards the ground. Feeling the earth underneath you, creating length in the spine, and letting the weight off the hips. Rest on your feet, arriving in the present moment, taking your time to feel into the body. What does the body tell you today? Can you feel any pain, stiffness, or do you feel quite flexible, open today? And not just in the body, maybe you want to check in how you're doing mentally. Is there a lot of weight on your shoulders today? Or do you feel light? Maybe you can leave any stress or worries to the side for the next few minutes. And turn the focus slowly towards your breathing here. Breathing in, feeling how the back lifts, you're creating space in between the shoulder blades. And exhale, the chest back sinks a bit closer towards the ground. Inhaling again, creating space, openness, and exhale, releasing. Lovely. Staying with the breathing. And feeling the connection to the ground underneath you, where your hands lay on the earth, where your arms touching the earth, the head, your forehead, the nose, the knees, the shins touching the ground, where your feet meeting the earth, and where your hips meeting your feet maybe. Feeling a strong connection here to the ground underneath you. And maybe you start to feel how you're creating openness in the hips, how the upper body rests on the thighs, how you're creating space in the shoulders and in the back. Taking 2 more deep breaths here. Lovely. Then lifting the head slowly, walking the hands towards the knees, finding a way up here into kneeling, yeah? And interlacing the hands behind you, pressing into the knuckles and straightening the arms as much as you can. Opening the chest, breathing in. Maybe you like to let the head drop back into the neck. Bringing the head back up. And then knuckles towards the hips. And maybe you lower the head towards the right shoulder here, feeling the stretch on the left side of your neck. Turning the right elbow towards you. One more deep breath here. Then inhale, straightening out the arms behind you again. And then bring the fist to the other side. Maybe you drop the head towards the left shoulder. Again, feeling a stretch here on the right side this time. Very nice, slowly releasing, straightening out the arms one more time. Maybe looking up again, inhaling. And exhale, release the hands. Maybe you want to shake them out. Then interlacing the hands in front of you, pressing the palms away. Inhale, lifting the arms. Maybe looking up, and exhale, bending to the left. Now, if sitting on your heels gets too uncomfortable, you can also sit cross-legged, of course. Inhaling, and then leaning over to the left. Maybe you look to the right side up. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, leaning to the left. Returning, releasing the hands, maybe circling the wrists to come down. Lovely. Inhale, opening the arms again. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Lovely. One more time, opening the arms. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, reaching, finding length from the sit bones through the spine to the crown of your head. And then on your exhale, twisting to the left here. Bring the right hand onto your left knee. And then first finding length here, and then turning. Maybe you're looking over your left shoulder, if your neck allows. And then staying present with the breath. One more deep in and exhalation. Maybe you can twist a bit further to the left. And then on your next exhale, release the left hand. The gaze follows the left hand while it crosses over the right arm. Lean back here. Send the weight into the hips. Round back. Inhale, leaning forwards, leaving the arms crossed. And then maybe bringing the back of the hands to touch. Maybe you can hold onto your thumb. Elbows draw away from you for your Garudasana eagle arms. If this is too intense, you can also bring the hands to rest on the shoulders. And then feeling the opening here in between the shoulder blades. Lovely. Maybe you like to turn the elbows a bit to the right. See how this feels in the left shoulder, upper arm, and then turn a bit to the left. Here from your eagle arms. Leave the arms crossed. Palms are facing down, and then you turn the palms towards each other. Thumbs facing down, and then you bring knuckles towards you, and then straightening out the arms as much as feels good. Yeah. Lovely. Whew. Warming up the wrists. They always get to carry a bit of weight in Vinyasa yoga, so it's good to warm them up. Lovely. Exhale, releasing. Ooh, shake out the hands. Inhale, opening again, reaching. Maybe you look up, and then on your exhale, turning to the left. Again, finding length first throughout the spine, and then twisting a bit more. Maybe you look over your right shoulder. Deep breathing here in your seated twist. One more in and out breath. Maybe you can twist a bit deeper if you like. And then on the exhale, you release the right hand. Gaze follows the right hand while it crosses over the left. And you lean back, get round in the back. And then you lean forwards again for your eagle arms. Maybe hands on the shoulders, elbows drawing away from you. See what you need here and how intense it feels. Maybe moving the elbows to the left or to the right. Slowly straightening out the arms again. Leave them crossed, right hand over the left, palms facing down and then towards each other. Interlace the hands so the thumbs face down and then turn the hands towards you. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. And then you're straightening out the arms as much as it allows, yeah? And then you quickly start to feel the stretch here in you. And then breathing here into this stretch. Exhale, turning the knuckles towards you again. Release the hands. Ooh, there's a lot of soreness stored in the wrists. Yeah, it's always okay. We straighten out our arms into a T first, and then you bring your hands onto the shoulders here. Find length again. Maybe you want to switch the crossing of the legs if your feet feel like they fall asleep. And then we twist to the left. Breathe out. Inhale to the right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Find your own rhythm. You can go slow or fast. Linking the breath to each side. Suchi grind, yeah? Warming up the spine, getting rid of any tension, any negative energy stored in the spine. Really nice exercise to do in the morning, yeah, to get you fired up, warmed up. Lovely. If you get lightheaded or dizzy, you can always stop and know this is normal because maybe you're moving fast. And then making fists with the hand, maybe moving the fists a bit lower, and then up again, like cheerleader arms. And then lower them again. And walk them up one more time. Lovely. And then you come to slow down. Whew. Take a breath here. And when you're ready, you come back into your T. Bring the hands onto your shoulders one more time. And on your inhale, you lift the elbows. Exhale, drop them. Inhale, lift. And exhale, drop them. Find your own rhythm here. Yeah, lots of warm up for the shoulders here. Anytime it gets too intense, you can always pause and return. Lovely. One more time. And then you release the hands. Maybe shake them out. Whoo! Shake it, shake it, shake it. And then we stretch out the arm. One more time. And you turn the right palm up. Left palm is down. And you turn it just a bit more to the back until left palm is up as well. And then we reverse. Right palm moves to the back and then up. Left palm faces up. Yeah, it's like you're wringing out a claw. And maybe you look to the left and then to the right side, to the right hand, if you like. Whew. And you're quickly building heat here in the arms. I can already feel it. So, see how long you want to do this. Wow. And when you had enough, you release the hands. Relax the hands in your lap for a moment. Wow. Maybe your shoulders, arms already burning. Finding a way onto all fours here. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees below the hips. Lovely. Drawing the belly in slightly. Maybe you're looking forwards for your cow. Dipping the belly. Breathing out, cat, rounding the back, chin towards the chest. Lovely. Inhale, looking forwards, opening the chest.
Exhale, getting round. Lovely.
Find your own
Unique rhythm. Maybe you want to move super slow,
slow, gentle.
maybe you want to speed it up a little bit. Don't forget to link the
Breath.
to the movement.
Inhale, looking forwards.
Exhale, cat. And maybe barrel rolls, yeah, so shifting the weight from left to right in your cat and cow. Also forwards and back. Does the left side feel different to the right? Maybe you want to pause at a certain point and then circle, spiral the other way. Very nice. Returning back to all fours here.
And on your inhale, reaching the right arm high, circling the right arm here. Lovely big opening here, opening the chest to the right, reaching the right arm up, and on your exhale, hovering, threading the right arm through the left. Inhale, opening one more time, and then exhale, bringing the right shoulder down onto the ground, threading the needle here. And then resting on the right temple. Maybe you like to leave your left hand in front of the face. Maybe a bind, so bringing left hand to the right thigh or somewhere around the hips. Maybe you like to stretch out the arm over the head and then opening the chest to the left, yeah. Breathing deep, feeling this nice side opening here. Lovely twist here. Relaxing the weight of the head on the ground. One more deep inhalation. Filling the chest and exhale. Breathing out. Slowly bring your hand in front of your face and then opening the arm to the side again, maybe looking to the sky. Exhale, lower the right hand back to the mat and then the other side. Inhale, reaching left hand high, big opening, and then circling left arm. Very nice. Next time the arm comes up, pausing here. Exhale, treading left arm through the right. Inhale, opening to the left again. And exhale, lowering the left arm to the ground, resting on the left shoulder, lifting on the left temple. Maybe leaving the hand in front of the face, maybe bind. Or maybe you like to straighten out the right arm over the ear. Opening the chest, trying to turn to the right side here. Breathing deep. Very nice. So nice. With your next exhale, bring the right hand in front of your face again. You open that left arm high. Exhale back to the mat. Lovely. And then tucking the toes here. Send the hips back towards the heels.
And lifting the knees, finding length in the spine here for your bear. Pressing into both hands equally. And then slowly starting to straightening the legs. Walking the dog. Shifting right and then left heel towards the ground. Knees can be super bent generously. Do what you need here in your down dog. Maybe moving hips from left to right, creating length in the spine. Maybe you need stillness. Or you shake the head from left to right or up and down. Very nice. Lovely. Then looking towards the hands, coming into a high plank, round back, lowering the hips for an up dog here. Exhale, shifting back into a bear. Down dog. Coming to the front again, high plank, lowering the hips. Up dog. And then back again. Lovely, one more time here, spinal waves. And then finding a moment in your down dog again. Very nice. So let's lower down onto the forearms, yeah? Forearms are parallel here in a dolphin pose, yeah? Still keeping the length in the spine. Maybe you bend the knees super generously, yeah? Maybe your chest, upper body rests on the thighs even. Seeing what you need here in your dolphin. Trying to press all 10 fingers into the ground equally. And this can be a lot for the shoulders, yeah? You can always take a break here in between and come into a child's pose with the forearms on the ground, yeah? You can always take a break here. Maybe you come back into your dolphin. And then let's try something fun. Try to walk the feet closer to the body. Maybe you lift one leg here. If you have a wall at home, you can also try to kick up into a Scorpio. If you're familiar with it, go for it. Or maybe you lift right leg, left leg. So if you want to try the scorpion, you look to the space in between the arms, like in between the elbows, yeah? And then you kick up. And maybe you want to practice this with a wall at home. Okay, let's try again. If we can do this dolphin. Kicking up. Maybe you get a second, maybe you can stay there. Let's try one more time. Kicking up. Maybe you get a second. I don't feel very strong today. Okay. And then taking a quick break in a child's pose, maybe resting the arms, maybe bring the hands into prayer behind the back, behind your head. Lovely. And then when you're ready, back into a down dog here for a quick second. Long spine, And then finding a way to the front of the mat. Maybe you step, maybe you hop. Inhale, long back, finding length, maybe hands on to the shins, maybe on the ground. Exhale, folding forwards, taking hold of opposite elbow, rounding the back, and then swaying a bit from left to right, letting the weight of the head get really heavy. Lovely. Inhale, half forwards fold, still holding on to the elbows. Exhale, folding down again. Forward fold. One more time. Lifting. And then on your next exhale, release the hands. Slowly rolling up to stand. Bring the hands in front of your heart. Feet are parallel. And on your inhale, opening the arms up, reaching towards the sky. Maybe you look up. And on your exhale, folding forwards, letting the head hang. Inhale, half forwards fold, long back. Maybe you step back. Maybe you jump back. Your body is one straight line, activating the core. Shifting the weight back into the heels, and then on your exhale, lowering the knees to the ground, hugging the elbows in, resting the head on the ground, breathing out. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lowering again down. Tuck the toes, send the hips towards the heels, and then up dog again. And then down dog again. Very nice. Staying here for 5 breaths. 5 breaths here. And then stepping to the front of the mat. Inhale, long back. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, slowly rolling up to stand again. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Breathing out. Next, inhale. Interlace the hands over you. Press the palms away. And then leaning over. And then leaning over towards the left, making a half moon shape. Maybe you like to step right foot behind the left, leaning to the left. Exhale, back to the center. Breathing in. And then exhale, bending to the right. Step the left foot behind the right. Lovely. Returning back to your neutral Uttanasana. And exhale, folding over forwards. Let the head hang. Forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Lovely. Stepping the right foot back. Lower the right knee onto the ground, 90 degree in the front leg for your low lunge. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you bring your hands onto the hips here. Maybe you like to reach them up and then bending. Back bend. Lovely. Maybe interlacing hands behind you and then pressing into the knuckles, leaning back. Very nice.
Release the hands again. And then walk the left foot a bit to outside, to the left side, yeah? So your hands are inside the left foot. And then letting the hips sink a bit lower here. You can probably already start to feel the stretch here in the groin. This can be very intense. And then we stay here for a few breaths. Maybe you like to tuck the toes, lift the right knee. See what you need. Maybe you want to bend the left knee. Take hold of the right foot with your left hand. And then opening, twisting to the left side. Breathing deep. Lovely. Exhale, slowly releasing. Bringing left hand back to the ground. And then walking your left foot towards the right hand. And then finding a nice angle here in the front leg for your pigeon pose, yeah? First, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, folding forwards. Maybe you want to rest the head on the ground. Maybe you want to make spinal waves, yeah? Coming up and down. Maybe leaning to the left, and then to the right. Lovely. Giving the hip a bit of time to release here. Slowly bring the hands back onto the ground. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, hugging the left knee in, and then step it back into a down dog here. Before stepping the right foot in between the hands, lower the left knee to the ground, 90 degree in the front leg. Lovely. For your low lunge on the other side, yeah? Anjaneyasana. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you like to reach the arms up for a crescent moon. Maybe you look up towards the moon or the sun. You could also interlace the hands behind you and create a nice opening in the chest, arching the back. Lovely. And then slowly release the hands. Bring them around the right foot. And then start to walk the right foot a bit more outside. Placing both hands inside. And then finding your lizard here. Maybe you lift the left knee. Maybe it stays on the ground. See what you need. Maybe a bind, so you're taking hold of the left foot with the right hand. The right knee can turn a bit more to the right, opening the chest, opening the groin here. Breathing deep. Lovely. On your next exhale, releasing here. Bring the right hand back, lower the left foot, and then start to walk the right foot next to the left leg, yeah? Find a nice angle here in the front leg. Maybe you support yourself with a cushion or bolster block underneath the right sit bones, yeah? If you find it hard here. And then maybe staying up or folding forwards. Maybe spinal waves in your pigeon here. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, folding forwards. Maybe to the right and to the left. Lovely. Or maybe you need stillness here. One more in breath and out. And then tucking the left toes, lifting the left heel, step the right foot back, down dog here. Very nice, long back, maybe big bend in the knees here. And then shorten the dog a little bit. Maybe you make it also a bit wider so that you can take hold of the left ankle here with the right hand twisting to the left. Maybe you look under the left armpit. Nice. Slowly releasing, changing the sides, taking hold of the right ankle. Lovely. Releasing, finding the way back to the front of the mat. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, rolling up. Slowly opening the heart, the arms. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Okay, let's flow through a standing sequence. Inhale. Exhale, folding forwards. Hinging from the hips. Inhale, long back. Planting the palms onto the ground. Maybe you like to try a jump back into your chaturanga. Upper arms are in line with the torso. And then you flip into an up dog. If there's too much, you lay down and do your cobra, yeah? Exhale back into a down dog. Very nice. Inhale, lift the right leg. Three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee towards the nose. Round back. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee towards the right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee towards the left elbow. Three-legged dog. Exhale, stepping the right foot in between the hands. Lowering the left heel to the ground. And then coming up for a warrior one. Reaching the arms high. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Hips are parallel. And then gazing to something in front of you, feeling the ground underneath your feet. Trying to balance the weight into both feet equally, yeah? Strong legs. Lovely. 2 more deep breaths here. Feel this warrior energy, the strength in both legs. Nice. Next exhale. Interlace the hands behind you. Puff out the chest, yeah? And maybe you need to widen the stance a little bit here because we want to fold forwards into a humble warrior, yeah? Keeping the 90-degree in the front leg. The head wants towards the ground. Knuckles, arms up towards the sky, the ceiling.
wherever you are. Pressing into all corners of the feet. Maybe this is wobbly here. 2 more deep breaths. Maybe it's shaky. Lovely. Exhale. Release the hands. Bring them next to the right foot. And maybe you hover the left knee over the left arm. Exhale. Step it back. One more time. And back. Very nice. Slowly coming up to your warrior one again. Interlacing the hands behind you. Shifting the weight into the right foot for a warrior three here. Trying to focus on something on the ground, which doesn't move. Not so easy. Lovely, lovely. And slowly releasing the hands, straightening them out in front of you, looking down. And then maybe standing splits. Letting the weight of your head pull you down. Left foot once towards the sky. Breathing deep. Maybe you hold on to the ankle, the heel. Exhale, step it back. Here into a warrior one again. One inhalation. And exhale, frame the right foot. Maybe three-legged plank, chaturanga. And then up dog. Exhale, back into a down dog. Taking a breath. Maybe you want to relax in a child's pose before we do the other side. See what your body needs here. And then when you're ready, we meet back in a down dog. Inhale, reach the left leg high. Exhale, left knee to the nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Twisting. One more time, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through. Prepare yourself for your warrior one on the other side. Bring the right heel to the ground. 90-degree bend in the front leg. Lovely. Hips are squared. And then reaching the arms high. Looking to what's in front of you. Proud chest. Feel the warrior energy here throughout your feet, legs. Feeling strong, stable, rooted to the ground. Also feel that energy through the arms into each fingertips, yeah? Palms face to each other. Lovely. Then exhale, interlace the hands behind you. Try to walk one finger up or down. Yeah, so does it feel a bit unfamiliar, yeah? The grip. And then on your exhale, leaning forwards. Chest head once towards the ground. Maybe you need to widen the stance a little bit in your humble warrior. The weight of your head pulls you down and your arms, knuckles open the back. Deep breathing here. This helps with the balance, focusing on a spot. Lovely. On your next exhale, release the hands behind the back. Place them next to your left foot. And then maybe you want this little challenge, balancing right heel on top of the right upper arm. Exhale, step it back. One more time, hovering. This is good preparation for arm balances. And then step it back. Lovely. Coming back up here into your warrior one. Interlacing the hands
behind you in that unusual grip. And then shifting the weight into the left foot here for a warrior 3. Focusing, finding something that doesn't move. Lovely. And then breathing deep. Releasing the hands, bring them in front of you. And then maybe standing splits here. Let the head pull you down. Standing splits, let the head pull you down. Right foot towards the sky. Very nice. One more breath. And then to release, step it back into your warrior 1. Reach the arms high. One big inhale. And exhale. Frame the left foot, step it back. Maybe 3-legged plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, back into a down dog. Maybe you like to take a break in your child's pose here. So lower the knees down. Rest the forehead on the ground. Long back. And then when you're ready, you need me back. When you're ready, you meet me back in your down dog. Maybe hop to the front of the mat. Long back, half forward fold. Exhale, folding. Inhale, coming back up. Opening the arms. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Taking a moment here to feel your heartbeat. To collect your breathing again. Slow it down. Maybe you close your eyes for. Okay, if you're ready, one more round of standing sequence, yeah? Take an inhale. Stretching. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Inhale, long back. Maybe you jump back into a chaturanga. Up dog. Or you lay down cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lovely. And then stepping the feet so the big toes are touching. On your inhale, reaching right leg high. Bending the knees so right heel pulls towards left buttocks. Opening the hips. Maybe circling that hip joint here. Creating space. Lovely 3-legged dog. And then exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Preparing for a warrior 2 here. 90-degree bend in the front leg. Arms are straight. Left foot turned out 90 degree. Gaze follows the right hand. And we take a few deep breaths here in your warrior 2. Feeling the power here again. And then lowering the right arm onto the thigh. Maybe stretching the left arm over the ear. Rotate that chest open. Exhale, leaning back. Reverse warrior. Trying to not put too much weight onto the left hand. Inhale, coming forwards. Exhale one more time. Reverse warrior. And then back into your warrior 2. Shortening the stance and then straightening out the right leg, leaning forwards, and then coming down for a Trikonasana. Maybe hand on the ground, maybe hand on the shin. Wherever it lands is good. And then creating this triangle shape here in the legs. Maybe not totally locking the knees, so keeping a micro bend. Deep breath here. One more breath. Then exhale, switching the hands for your reverse triangle. So opening to the other side. Very nice. Maybe stepping into a reversed half moon here for a second. Not so easy. Maybe you try a normal half moon first. Very shaky today. And then slowly returning back into a warrior two. Windmilling the arms down, frame the right foot, three-legged. Exhale. And back into a down dog. Very nice. Maybe taking a break in a child's pose or coming straight to the other side by stepping the feet close to each other. Big toes are touching. Inhale. Lift the left leg high, bending the knees. So left heel pulls towards the right sit bone. And maybe circling the leg. Very nice. And then stepping the left foot in between the hands. Turning right foot out 90 degrees. Up for your warrior. Coming up for your warrior two. On the other side, yeah. Gaze follows the left hand. Breathing deep. Feeling the power of the warrior, feeling the strength in your feet, in your legs. Lovely. And then leaning forwards, resting the left forearm on the thigh. Maybe right arm extends over the ear. If this is too much, you can always leave the upper arm down. Opening the chest. Exhale, coming back, reversed warrior. Inhale forwards. And exhale one more time, reversed warrior. Lovely, finding your way back into warrior two. And then shortening the stance, straightening out that front leg. And then leaning forwards to come down for a triangle. Maybe left hand is on the ground, maybe it's just on the shins. Wherever it lands is fine, yeah. You can also use a block if you have one at home. Lovely. Slowly changing the hands. Reversed triangle. And maybe reversed half moon from here. Give it a try if you like. Or maybe normal half moon. And then stepping it back, warrior 2. One breath, windmilling the arms down. Chaturanga. Up dog. And back to a down dog here for just a moment. Looking in between the hands. Maybe you jump to the front. Long spine. Exhale, folding. And then rolling up to stand. One more time. Hands in front of the heart. Okay. So from here, we want to take a big step down the mat. Feet are parallel, toes turned in slightly, yeah? And then bring your hands onto the hips first. Breathing in. Find a long spine, yeah? Tuck the pelvis a little bit, yeah? Move it forwards. And then on your exhale, coming down with a long spine. And then maybe like to bring the hands onto the ground. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you want to move the head closer towards the earth. Try to keep the elbows in. Letting the weight of the head pull you down. Lovely. You can also come into a headstand from here if you like, if you're familiar to it. So elbows close to each other. Maybe you bring the knees up onto the elbows first. And this is already tricky. Maybe back into your Prada Rita Padottanasana. Resting the head. Maybe a twist in here. Twisting to the other side. Lovely. And then jumping the feet closer for a squat here. Maybe let the head hang, make this a passive squat. Maybe you want to press the upper arms against the thighs, opening the hips here. Lovely. You also have the option to take a twist here as well. Maybe a bind, wrapping right arm around the right knee and then taking hold of the left wrist. Slowly releasing again. Changing to the other side. Lovely, interlacing. And then finding your way down to sit. Stretch out the left leg. Bring the right foot to the inside of the thigh. Rooting down through both sit bones here. And then inhale, lengthening. And exhale, folding forwards. Let your hand find the ground wherever they want to. Maybe they touch the foot. Inhale, slowly rolling up again. Maybe a twist to the right. Before you straighten out the right leg, changing. Inhale, find length. Exhale, folding forwards. Let the head relax.